Good day to all of you wonderful viewers out there. Hi, I'm Awesome Joe, and thank you guys so much for taking the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Movie Reviews. And wow, oh my goodness, this is phenomenal. I really was just so excited to just turn on that camera and start talking about the way I felt, the way that my experience was towards this magnificent movie that I just watched. Top Gun Maverick, everybody. This is a movie that starred Tom Cruise that has been waiting to put this movie into production and getting it out there for those Top Gun fans to go and watch more of Top Gun. And to be honest with you, I've only watched the original '86 film less than 5 times, and it's been quite a long while since I've watched the movie, and I love Tom Cruise, and you guys know this, and I love Top Gun. It's a fantastic movie, but even though that this movie has a lot of references due to the original film, it's just its own movie on its own is just great. There's about a part or two in the original movie that does have some effect with this movie in particularly, but even without it, I find that this movie stands on its own to being a magnificent movie. I just had a blast, an awesome time. This movie is directed by Joseph Kosinski. Now, if you guys are not familiar with this director, he directed 2 of the best, in my opinion, the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Not like number 1 or number 2 best movies ever, but it is in my best movie list, which is Oblivion and Tron Legacy. I've seen those 2. They are phenomenal movies. It's the same project, where you have the same director and Tom Cruise working together in Oblivion, and then now in this one in Top Gun Maverick. I loved his other 2 movies. He is a phenomenal director. And the way that this movie was directed was just fantastic, spectacular. And I love the fact that he has a good vision of aerial sequences. And because you see a lot of that in Tron Legacy and in Oblivion. And he just has that sharp eye on that, and he's just the perfect director to be directing this movie. And I cannot really think of anyone else who would do a phenomenal job in having to directing a sequel to the '86 popular Top Gun movie. So yeah, we get returning Tom Cruise. Of course, Tom Cruise is gonna come back, man. He's in his 60s and he's still kicking butt. There's even a sequence in this movie where he does the Tom Cruise run. Everybody loves the Tom Cruise run. And I'm like thinking, wow, this guy can still do it. The way that he does the stunts and the way that he does his acting performances, man, it's like as if he's still, in his 20s. I mean, this dude is in tip-top shape. You know how in the original movie, they had this shirtless volleyball scene? Well, this one is kind of similar, but it's a shirtless football scene taken off on the beach. And he has his shirt off, of course. And I'm like, man, this dude is still ripped. This guy, he still has it. I mean, wow, this dude is in his 60s, man. 60s. That's just mind-blowing. And not only that, he's not even finished. I mean, you've seen the stuff that he does in all of his other movies. Mission Impossible, for example. wow, this guy is just, man, and you wonder why I favor this actor. You know, I don't really care about him and his personal life. That's all his business. But when it comes to him in front of the camera, the way that he performs, both dramatically and stunt wise, it's just a huge experience just to watching it on the big screen. And you know, there's a thing right now, of course, you know how majority of people are always wanting to watching a brand new movie on streaming services, and Tom Cruise was totally against that. He said, no, I do not want this movie to be released on Paramount Plus or on any other streaming services. This movie is meant to be shown on the big screen, and he is 100% correct. I watched this and I'm like, holy cow. And this is just a normal viewing in a normal theater. You know, this is not 3D or an IMAX. You know, it's just a typical regular movie on the big screen. And still, my mind was blown. I mean, the entire time I was watching that movie, every single time when we're in those jets, you literally feel like you're in the jets with these actors. And the majority of the time, every time when they're spinning or going upside down, I'm literally going like this, my head's going like that, and like that. I was just like, and like this, and I was like, oh my God, man. It's like, I wish I was in those theaters where the seats literally move with the movie, you know? It's just, oh my God, man. If I was in that, oh man, I would just, you know, and it's one of those movies too where you have to go to the bathroom, but you're not paying any attention to the fact that you have to go to the bathroom. I'm not really going to the bathroom while I'm watching this movie, but you know, it's like, it's one of those times where you're just like, I don't want to get up. I'm enjoying every single second of this movie. That's how good this movie is. I could not believe exactly what I was watching. I thought I was going to be a little bit bored and disappointed because honestly, I have no idea about you know, the Air Force or, you know, jets. You know, it's just, yeah, I don't know that world. I wish I did. After watching this movie, I'm just like, wow, I really do wish I knew what I was watching, but I enjoyed every second of watching it. It was a phenomenal time. And not only that, it's so amazing in how this is all practical effects. This is all, you know, everyone flying in these jet planes, and I'm just like, there is no CGI. That's how awesome Tom Cruise is. And that's what I mean. It's like, you know, you don't put him in, you'll never see him in front of a green screen. This dude can do it all. I mean, and there was even this intro video of him before the video played, and how much he just appreciates everyone going out and watching this movie, and how much, you know, a lot of people put a lot of hard work into this, and just a special thanks to all the cast and crew who put all this together. I mean, I love those videos. I love those videos. I literally feel like Tom Cruise was just there in front of us, and just thanking us and welcoming us to this brand new movie that they just had released. I don't know, it was just fantastic. So, co-starring into this movie, we got a character called Bradley Bradshaw, whose call name is Rooster, played by Miles Teller, who happens to be the son of Goose, who spoiler alert here, if nobody knows this, but who died in the 86 movie. And, you know, and it's kind of more of a retelling of the story, per se, you know, in a, you know, 30, 40 years, well, actually, no, it's 30 years, sorry, 30 years after the original film. You know, it's just a retelling. It's really just having to, you know, but to revisit and do justice to the events that happened in the last film. So, and yeah, it was great. I actually believe there's times when I do see actors who portray a older version compared to the younger version. It really makes me scratch my head, because I'm always thinking to myself that I just don't see the resemblance. They try, but it's just not really fitting for me. But Miles Teller did so great, and I believed him to be in Goose's son. I mean, even if he looks like the Goose character with the mustache and everything like that, it's just, you know, just the way that he portrayed the character really made me believe in who he was portraying. There's one thing about this movie that I'm not really overly fond of. This is a negative. And I wish it wasn't a negative, because I really do admire this actress. She is just great, and every time I see her, I get so excited, because that's how awesome that she is. Jennifer Connelly playing Penny Benjamin, who is very much the love interest, Tom Cruise's love interest in this movie. And like I said, I love Jennifer Connelly. She is a phenomenal actress. She's great. She's beautiful. She's awesome. And when I heard that she was going to be in this movie, and I saw her in the marketings of this film, in the trailers, posters, whatever, whatnot, I was really excited. I really wanted to see what she can bring to the table of this movie. Now, it's not her fault, and I don't really think that I don't really think it's the director's fault either. But when sequences happen, when it's dealing with a love interest in particular movie such as this, the majority of the time, all I'm thinking is, I came here to see people fly jets. I did not come here to see a love interest. Honestly, I really did not. I can't say it's boring. Sometimes they are interesting. But in this in particular film, I'd have to say it was highly unnecessary. If you were to just remove those love interest sequences in this movie, the movie would not change at all. It would actually be a little bit better, but having to removing it, it really would not make that much of a difference. The movie is still awesome, so I really didn't find it as necessary. I'm sorry, Jennifer Connelly. It's just that, I love you. You're so awesome, but your part in this movie, I just didn't really find necessary. I really would have loved it if it was a good part of the movie, but honestly, the majority of the time, I didn't want to see you. I just wanted to see Tom Cruise and everyone else fly jets throughout this entire movie. That's what I came to see. And I love how this other character called Hangman, played by Glenn Powell, who is very much the modern day Iceman in this movie. I mean, I love how much he's just a smartass, and somebody who really gets on people's nerves. I love his call name. It's really great, and I just love getting to see him. There's a sequence that happens that really made me feel like he's very much like Han Solo in Star Wars. So the way that he just leaps right on in and saves the day. So I really did admire that. I really did love that character, and I would love to see more of that character. You get so many other different characters. You get John Hamm that's in this. He did great. Ed Harris, he's also really awesome. And all these other characters named I love their call names: Phoenix, Fanboy, Payback, and Bob. I'm just like, if I was a pilot flying for the Navy, I'm like, really, my call name's gonna be Bob? I don't like that. Give me something else. Pick a name out of a hat or something. Anything is much more better than Bob. So, but what's great about this also as well too is, yes, it's not a surprise. We knew that he was going to come back. Pretty much just a cameo in this movie is Mr. Val Kilmer, Iceman himself, coming back. It was great getting to see him. Now, we all know that back in, I think it was 2014, 2015, he was diagnosed with throat cancer, so he had difficulty having to speak. And he was the same way in this movie as well. It was just awesome getting to see him, and I think that he has a really great voice. I mean, I know him as Iceman in the first Top Gun movie, but I know him a lot by being Batman in '95's Batman Forever, and I love his voice. And I just miss it. I was like really hoping that we do get a little bit of his voice put into this movie, but I just miss his really dark and handsome voice. I'm not gay, but his dark and handsome voice that he has. So I'm really gonna miss that. But his voice will always be remembered in all of the other movies that he had starred in. So really awesome dude, and it was really great getting to see him. I would have loved to have seen him in another Batman movie. I just think that the guy was really great. And great getting to see him coming back here. It took a lot of guts to doing that, and he's just a huge part of Top Gun, and it was great that he was a part of this project. But yeah, it was just a really great movie. I had an awesome time. I really do encourage everyone, if you haven't watched the movie, please go and watch it. I mean, you will not be disappointed. You're going to have a fun and fantastic time. You know, this movie has already been out for about a good week, and it's making good money. It's making really good money, and people are still going out to watching this movie. I mean, it's great, fun, entertaining. I had a blast. Like I said, every single second of this film I enjoyed through and through. I was really expecting myself going in and be bored several times, but to be honest with you, like I said, it was a great time. I could not believe so much that it really inspired me to just sit down right now, turn on this camera, and tell all of you wonderful viewers out there how I felt about the movie. Rotten Tomatoes went ahead and gave this movie a 97%, which is a huge surprise. It already made $126,000, being the top Tom Cruise movie ever, ahead of War of the Worlds. Not even beating Mission Impossible, any of the Mission Impossible movies, which he has done a lot of great ones in throughout his entire career. But I mean, wow! And even on Memorial Day weekend, the top highest grossed movie in a Memorial Day release is this movie, and I just cannot believe it. And even post COVID release, it made a lot of money and critically amazing. And I love how the way that this movie closes itself up. Like I said, Rotten Tomatoes 97%, and me, I love the movie so much, so much. Even though that it had its negatives, like I said, no movie is perfect. It's always going to have its flaws. You can be the most perfect movie in the entire world and you'll still have flaws. Okay? And this is one of them. This is Top Gun Maverick is, for me, 100%. I loved it. Completely 100% awesome. I could not believe that I loved this movie. Wow, so fantastic. And now I am definitely going to trust. I mean, I've always trusted, but if I ever see the name of the director, Joseph Kosinski, in any film project, definitely for sure, you can count me in. I have already bought a ticket. It's just, man. And then even having the starring Tom Cruise in it, oh yes, you're gonna win a lot of people over wanting to watching this bad boy. But yeah, you guys, anyways, that's my review for Top Gun Maverick. I'm trying to keep these reviews very brief because I know that I take up a lot of time because there's just so much to talk about. I want to talk about a lot of stuff. There are some few projects that I had to postpone due to time shortage. I know that usually every year for my birthday, which was May 15th, and I do a top 10 list of my favorite categories. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it this year. I might do a top 10 if I have any available time to do so. I would really love to because I love doing my top 10 lists. And then I was going to do a review for Moon Knight, but I think that it's a little too late for that. I would have loved to have talked about Moon Knight because it was a fascinating season. I wanted to do a movie review on Firestarter, but so much bad, critically bad news about that movie, and I feel like as much as I want to watch it in theaters, I really don't want to waste any of my money to go and watching it. So I know that it is on Peacock, so I think I'll watch it there. And if I like it at least a little bit, maybe I'll do a review off of it, but in most cases, probably not. And yes, Obi-Wan is out right now on Disney Plus, the first 3 episodes, which I will be having to work on. It is in development right now, and will be out sometime this weekend. So I'm really crossing my fingers for it to be a fascinating review, and I cannot wait for every one of you wonderful viewers to watching it. It's just a series that has been long awaited for, just like Top Gun Maverick, and it's a really great experience having to talking about it, regardless if it's good news or bad news. I mean, it's just, that's the world of movie criticism. But anyways, you guys, I'm Awesome Joe, everyone. Thank you guys so much for taking in the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section at the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you'd like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on Facebook and on YouTube. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button, everyone. I really do appreciate everyone's support in my channel. But once again, everyone, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream. And as always, stay awesome. Thanks you guys once more again, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Bye.